And I'm here for Daily Dose of Hope Day 198. So I've been coming on for almost 198 days to give a daily dose of hope. And what is a daily dose of hope? It is just that. It's just that the energies on our planet are starting to increase and things are starting to get wackier and wackier. And things are starting to, become like a low budget movie out in our world. And so my guide said that if I wanted to come on, I could come on to give a dose of hope. So I've been doing these since around February. And I've noticed that, in the mass media in these places, things are starting to get wackier and wackier. And they will continue to do so. And but we don't have to be wacky. We can be in the middle path. We don't have to be drawn down into the polarity, into whatever the energies are, the fear, the sadness, or the anger. We can just walk our path, a path of neutrality. And it is, yes, it is a path. And sometimes you might fall off your board, fall off your path, fall off the path, or wander out into the bushes. But just remember, you just come back onto the path and you're fine. That's what life is about. It's about having many different experiences. I want to share a story that happened to me just recently because I think it was just so surreal and funny that I just wanted to share it. I don't know if it is a hopeful story, but I hope it is. um, so nice to meet all of you and nice to see you again. Daily Dose of Hope. Let's see, Daily Dose of Hope has three parts: a bit of a talk, and then some channeling, and a pocket of peace. And TTT Tracy says, your guides probably didn't mention you'd need to be a tech genius. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. I like this Rumble Studio is nice for now. I think I'm kind of looking into other options, but it seems like the other options just never work. It's like me with TikTok. Like I've tried to make a TikTok account for so many times, and TikTok just doesn't let me in. And then even Line is I think it's a Korean company. I'm not sure if people around the world use it or not, but it's used extensively here in Japan. It's like a Facebook sort of thing. People use it to communicate, or more like a WhatsApp kind of thing. But I get kicked off of it all the time, and I don't even know what I'm doing. It's just like I'm just using. I don't even use it, and then I just get kicked off. And TikTok won't even let me in. Instagram, they let me in every once in a while, and then they kick me out. And I post like pictures of the what is it called, the garden that I was doing. It's like pictures of carrots and stuff. This man cannot be on Instagram. He's posting pictures of carrots. TT Tracy say, yes, the media here is just trying to prod me into anger. They are relentless. Yes. And we have to be as relentless in staying on the neutral path, because that is what this is about, right? This is about just understanding that things are going to get wacky, and they're just going to keep getting wackier because we're just building. It's like when you learn a language, you just build off of the experiences. When I was in university, my first year, I thought I was going to be a language expert and I was going to take all the languages and I'm going to start with Latin. And then, it was first period on a Monday morning, every morning, basically, for a week. It was an intensive course. And I was there for the first 3 weeks, and then I just couldn't wake up, What's my point? My point is, that it is, it's, oh yeah, that it's accumulative. So if I missed like a week of class, then I missed everything, because it's just building on something. And so same with our neutrality and our peace. We're building on the peace that we've created. And that's why it's increasing, because the energy is increasing at the level, the capacity that we have to keep ourselves in the neutral path. I think there's kind of a universal balancing act that's going on, and the universe is seeing how balanced we are, what percent of the population is able to stay neutral, and then they judge how much of the energy can be increased at that time. Is just my personal kind of feel of how it seems to be going. So, and to my story, so I came home. I got off the train a few days ago, and it's still really hot here. It's like 98 degrees. Um, But I came home and I was like, "Ah, it's so hot. I'm just gonna go to the local convenience store and get some ice cream." So I got myself a nice chocolate ice cream, and I was walking to where my bike is parked. Everyone rides bicycles here in Japan, and I was walking to where my bike is parked, and I was just enjoying my ice cream and just kind of like in my own world. And then I noticed that this woman was kind of screaming, and I thought, probably not talking to me because no one really talks to me because I'm like floating outside. Um, I'm just like the guy that doesn't look like anyone else around, and so no one knows what to make of me, and so people just don't, people don't ask me directions. I'm just like that. But so I was just like, "Oh, probably no one's that woman's probably not talking to me." So I'm just enjoying my ice cream, and then I'm like, "Hmm, she's getting kind of, upset. Looks like she is talking to me." And I thought, "Oh, okay, I should probably listen to what she's saying." And then she said in Japanese, she said, "Mushi daijoubu desu ka?" And which means like, "Are you okay with bugs?" And I thought, "Wow, that's a really surreal thing to be saying while I'm eating my ice cream." But I'm like, "Yeah, yeah, I am. I'm okay with bugs." And she's like, "Come here, come here." And I said, "Okay." And then she came to her bicycle and she showed me there was this tiny, cute little green bug on her bicycle that had landed there, and she couldn't get on her bicycle. She was deathly afraid of bugs, and so, and then she noticed I had an ice cream. She's like, "I am so sorry to have bugged you while you're eating your ice cream." And I was like, "That's okay," and so I picked up the bug and let it fly away. And that's the end of my story. So there you go. Feel the hope. I'm sorry. I just for me, that's a joke, of course. But for me, it was just such a surreal story. I had to share it. No one in my 23 years here in Japan has ever asked me that question. Mushi daijoubu desu ka? Are you okay with bugs? It's like never been asked that, especially in such an emotional way. So I felt like I had to share it. I don't know if there's much meaning behind it, but I know that there's meaning behind everything. And but I haven't looked behind the meaning yet. I'm still viewing it from the surface as what a surreal story that was. Let's see if I can turn that into a story. So that's all I wanted to say for today. TTT Tracy says she wouldn't last long in Florida. We've got bugs. Yeah. It's funny, like here I think when you go more out into the countryside, everyone's fine with bugs. But in the city, like people are deathly afraid of bugs. Like even like growing a little garden on your veranda, like having a few pots, everyone's afraid bugs are gonna come. And I don't know. I think it's just, yeah, not sure where it comes from. But everyone, when they're kids, all the kids here, they all touch bugs. But then when they grow a little bit older, they can't. Yeah, it's interesting. I wonder if there's probably, as there always is, something more. The other thing I wanted to share about that is that something more thing that, this is something we were talking about in the membership before, is that, it's important we look at our dreams. When we have a dream, we want to find out all of the symbolism in our dreams. We always, "What did that mean? What did that mean? That must have meant something." But when it comes to our life, we rarely do that. We just assume, "Oh, that just happened. It doesn't mean anything. That doesn't mean anything. That doesn't mean anything." But I think we have to apply the same amount of symbolism to what is happening in our life, to what is happening in our dreams as well, because everything is happening for a very, very good reason. And always remembering that we are projecting out all the experiences that we have. We are projecting them out. They are there for us. So either they are there to help us to grow, or they are showing us something about ourselves, something, a mirror. As Jalila Starr says, it's showing us a mirror. And we have to look in the mirror and find out, what does this mean? Why does this happen? And, look in the mirror. Yeah. I've never been a big I'm a big Michael Jackson fan from when he was, in the Jackson 5, but I was never really into, like, his later stuff. I mean, when I was a teenager, or not when I middle school or something, all of the hit songs from then, they were great. But after that, I never really followed his stuff very much. But just, a few years ago, I started listening. He's got such a beautiful talent, such a beautiful voice, and such an amazing, just amazing presence. And I personally, like, I guess happens for me, I don't know why I'm going to this now, but what happens for me is, production quality. Like Another one was Paul Simon. Like, I love Paul Simon, but a lot of times, like, going when you go through a certain era, like when he was going through the 60, I think it was the 70s, and that was that kind of progressive rock and kind of funk era. And so every song, even if it was a folk song, had to sound kind of funky and have all kinds of weird stuff going on. And for me, as a musician, I like the real raw, just I like the songwriter, just the rough song. And so I sometimes when I hear like Michael Jackson songs, and when you hear just his voice isolated, it's just the most amazing thing. Like, there's so much power behind that voice. And anyway, I'm just thinking I'm looking at the man in the mirror. And yeah, so there you go. Rambling on. So I'm going to go into a channeling today for day 198, and see what they have to say for today. Here we go. Greetings. We are that one that you know of as Esmeralda, and we really needed to come through today. We have something that we would like to bring forward to all of you, and that is the essence of boundaries, and the importance of boundaries, and that this being has difficulty with his boundaries. And yes, we are broadcasting that out into the world for the world to know, and for him to know that that is the mirror for him to understand that boundaries are very, very important, for him to understand that protecting his boundaries are a part of his responsibility on this world. That when you come down here into this world, you come down here into separation. And it is important when you come down into separation to understand where you begin, where you end, and where another begins and another ends. And it is similar to your houses. You all have houses and you lock the door. If someone comes into the door uh, after you've locked it, or even if you haven't locked it and they are uninvited, they and you know that that is not the way that it should be. That is the same with boundaries. And you set these boundaries and you set the door. You put up the door, you put up the house. It is not that you are pushing people away. And it is just that you are setting your boundaries so that you can do the work that you've come down here to do. You all have very, very important work to do down here. And if you don't have your house, if you don't have your space to do this work, then the work suffers, and you lengthen the time that you have to be down here. You lengthen the possibility that you might have to come down again, that you might have to redo many things. That is how powerful boundaries are. Boundaries are there to help you to understand where you start, where you end, and where another starts and another ends. It's there to help you understand this separation that you come down into, this yin and yang that you come down into. If you blend in with everyone, then you are acting out as you truly are, because you are one with all. You are one with all, but you decided to come down here into separation to understand what it means, how it works. And in this, you set loving boundaries that help you to understand how it works, help you to see. Now, you can see your brother and your sister. You can see all of the beings on the planet as one with you, but also keep your loving boundaries as well. That is the balance of coming down into the third dimension. That is one of the things that you are attempting to learn down here. You are attempting to understand how that works. Now, we would say that this being has come a far way, but his boundaries are not strong enough. His front door is open. And he needs to understand to close the door when he goes to sleep, for example. And it's a simple idea, and it is a loving idea as well, because when you are concrete with your boundaries, then others will respect you and respect your boundaries, and it will create more peace on earth. And isn't that what you are all here to do, is to create more peace? If you understand and you accept where another stands, and you understand and accept them, then that is the basis of peace on earth. And that is the basis of understanding the whole paradigm that you are in. That is the paradigm, one of the main paradigms of this third dimension, one of the main ideas that you come here to work out. Mm. All right. Whew. Got a little talking down from Esmeralda. She was talking me down a little earlier too. A dressing down. Yeah. Getting dressed down by a higher dimensional mermaid. uh, anyway, but let's see. The synthetic music these days is awful. Synthetic music. Yeah. Um, yeah. I'm not sure if you're talking about elevator music, but I definitely, yeah. There's a supermarket near me that they play the most awful. I think they get around the copyright issues by using kind of like MIDI files of famous songs, and it's just for me like the arrangements. Ah, that's what you're talking about, Tracy. Sorry, you're talking about, yeah, the arrangements of like, yeah, exactly. I agree. Um, I'm just like a guitar singer, maybe a harmonica type of guy, like really, really bare bones, because that's how you can hear the real song. That's how you hear the core of the song. But a lot of songwriters have to shift and change with the times in order to appeal to larger audiences. But for me, I'm always like, especially with artists that I love, like Paul Simon, it's like, no, don't do that. That song is beautiful. Oh, if you just sang it. He has the most beautiful voice and the most beautiful lyrics and just the most beautiful way of just bringing you into these worlds. And but that's just my own thing. And you can't have your cake and eat it too. But I can hear as a composer too what a lot of times I hear music in my head, and then I'll start to improvise it and start to write it down, and I'll play it for people around me, and thinking that they can hear what I hear in my head, and they're like, that, I don't know what that is, I don't like that, and then like a few months later I finish the piece, and there's a concert or something, and then they'll say, wow, that's really beautiful. Wow, I'd never heard that before. It's like, I played this for you like 50 times, and like, no, I've never heard this before. So yeah, I must be hearing something more. And so that's what I do. I kind of hear into the music, like I hear, oh, that's, you know, but anyway, uh, again, so, hey, Michael, TT Tracy says, stick to chamber music. Yeah, me too. Me too. I love chamber music. I, I like when I was going to the music school, one of the things, like everyone, like if you get into kind of computer music, then, there's like, all these career opportunities open, like the doors open up to you, especially that time when it was first coming out. But I just, I, I would try to kind of get into it, but I love the sound of live instruments. I love that feeling that they give you, and I love creating something that almost sounds like it was created. It doesn't even sound like the instrument that you're listening to. Like creating magic out of like the physics of our world is just. So I'm getting pinged right now. Ping ping. um, Speaking of pinging, there's in the news recently they've been talking about pagers. Um, and oh, I think I've been frozen on frozen. Oh no. Okay. But pagers are very similar to the pinging. I'm getting pinged right now. Getting a download. So pagers, right? In Japan, they call them pokebells, pocket bells. And everyone used to have one back in the 80s, supposedly. But, in the States, at least from my limited experience, because I was pretty young at the time, they weren't really they were used for a lot of things that were kind of not legal, it seemed. They had that image about them. But in Japan, it's just like everyone just had one. Right. Let's get into a pocket of peace. And this pocket of peace is, again, I'm people out there that are suffering all maybe isolated, and maybe going down into any ass. So to just do this pocket of peace here. If makes you feel the most relaxed, place that you are the most loved. Think about a time in your life when you felt the most loved and protected. If you don't have that time in your life, think about a time that you felt that way, of you felt like love and protection for someone else, for a person or a pet or something. Just connect with that energy. Yeah. And then I'd like you to call in the mist of unconditional love. Just call it in, and it just comes into your space, and it just covers you with this just feeling of love. You're just, everything is forgiven, all is love. There's nothing to worry about, there's nothing to regret. You are love, and you are loved unconditionally. This is your birthright. This is the love that you were given by Source when you were born. It will be with you throughout your life, and it will be with you after you pass as well. This is the light of unconditional love, and it trumps everything. It is more powerful than everything. This is your birthright. And just let it just spread out through your room. So your room is just covered with light and love and hope. Everything is hope now. Your world is hope. Everywhere you look, you see hope. The windows, the floors. Look outside now. You can see all the buildings have shifted into whimsical shapes. They are the shapes of love. Ah, and look at those highways and byways and trucks and cars and motorcycles, police cars, buses. They're all love. They're all shifted into the frequency of love. And you are so much empowered by this love. And then let's bring this love out bigger and bigger and bigger throughout the whole world. The whole world now is covered with love, love, love. Oh, it's so strong. And this power of love. Love is the most powerful thing on the universe. And it's the fastest thing on the universe. We've just spread this love throughout the whole universe. As we are sitting, as we are standing here, this love is going out to all the people, all the beings in the world who are suffering. It's shining a light into their world, shining a light of love. And so all that pain, all that suffering, all that sadness is gone, replaced with this feeling of just being so at home, more at home than they've ever felt in their whole life. And this love is so powerful. It's just shining the light into every single crevice around the world. You can see it almost like a flash of lightning. But this lightning stays. It is the golden light of love all over the world. So all those people who are suffering are stopping in their tracks and saying, I don't know what that was, but that felt really, really good. I am in love now. I am in peace now. I'm feeling the love and the peace of the whole world. And all of the passing beings and other universes are looking down and saying, what the hell are they doing down there? How the hell are they creating that light? And we just say, we're just making a pocket of peace down here. Nothing to worry about. We're just changing the world. We're just changing the script. We're flipping the script into one of love. All those stories of sadness, all those stories of pain, all those stories of anger are stories of love now. We are all the love. We are the love, and we're shining it out. Ah. All right, guys. So that's Pocket of Peace for day 198. I hope you guys are hopeful. And I, yeah, I hope you guys are really hopeful. And I will hopefully see you all tomorrow. Hey, Gimel, I'll check your email. And TTT Tracy says, yes, freezing a bit on both YouTube and Rumble, but come back. I guess the talk of pagers is now. Ah, yeah, pagers, right? I should just call them the Japanese word, Pokebell. uh, TTT Tracy said, what a horrible thing to do to other humans, whether they're labeled good or bad. Yeah. And Kathy, hello. Yeah, you're all still here. Yep, we're all still here. Woohoo. So thanks, TT Tracy. Thanks, Gimel. Thanks, let's see, Kathy, TTT Tracy, and everyone else who's joining in, and Michael. I hope you guys are hopeful, and hopefully I will see you all tomorrow. Ciao for now. And remember that everything in your life is a symbol. Look at all the symbols around you. And as you start to look at the symbols, your guides will notice that you're looking at the symbols, and they'll send you more so that they can communicate with you more. So the universe is an amazing place. So I hope you guys are hopeful, and hopefully I will see you all tomorrow. Ciao. It's not letting me end the stream. Interesting. So it's not letting me end the stream. Hold on a second. This is an interesting day. Hold on a second. Please talk amongst yourselves. Hold on. Let's see. Hold on. I think I'm still on. I think this is still going, isn't it? Yes, guys, please talk amongst yourselves. And oh, that's why I'm in the wrong place here. I'm just clicking a whole bunch of buttons here. Yep. As you do, it's important to click buttons. All right, I'm going to click this button here, and clicking more buttons. So Kathy, I hope you're not driving. TTT Tracy says, oh, last time I got more channeling. Kathy says, bye. Uh-oh. Everyone's expecting an encore. Oh, no. Hold on. How is this happening?